Students, let us know how developments in chemistry have taken place, who compelled us to understand the fundamental basic part of the matter called as atom. About the ancient stories you are aware means what Maharishi Kanad did 600 years before the Christ, what happened in Greek, what the theory of Lysippus, Democritus, Epicurus. Afterwards, what alchemists were planning, what were they searching. But by the end of the 17th century, chemistry has earned the name that we say now and took a turn in the study. And it is because of Robert Boyle. Robert published his article about the law. Now it is a famous law called as Boyle's law. What are the teachings of Robert Boyle? He said, now we should leave the previous approach of the alchemist. Now, new approach of experimentation, observation and interpretation, mathematical correlation is to follow. And to this idea of Robert Boyle, do you know who has influenced a lot? Galileo. In his young age, when Boyle met to Galileo, he was influenced, he was impressed by his work. And Boyle decided to conduct the various experiments. He has not stopped there. He appealed other scientists. He appealed other alchemists. Let us follow new trend of experimentation. So balance, measurement means observation and the correlation between the results, those days were started. And I said previously, there is a turn to the alchemistry and the new turn called as chemistry occurred due to Robert Boyle. Now let us know few interesting fundas, how people were thinking about the various observations. People were observing the wood burns and ash forms. Weight of the wood is more, weight of the ash of course is what the less. So something which was there in the wood went out and that has combined with some air around. And they said something what was went out, that is called as phlogiston. So phlogiston goes, weight decreases. So phlogiston approach was in the mind of the people. And the phlogiston approach ruled for several years. In 1739, when metallurgical processes, treatment on the ore was going on, one where it was noted that ore when they treat gives one colorful gases, and that colorful gases they said as a demon. So demon is present in the ore and that demon went out during the treatment. So demons present in the ore, that was also the funda in the mind of the people. In 1764, Joseph Black noted one interesting observation. He took a chalk powder, he heated the chalk powder, found decrease in the weight. So at the beginning he thought it may be the phlogiston went out. But when you put that chalk powder in the water, and after some time when water has absorbed something and he got again the chalk powder after drying. So he found what was there previous, again is what is stored. So something is there, some air is present in the chalk, and he said that air as a fixed air. Can you guess what may be that air? What may be the name of the gas? People have struggled a lot to find its name. In 1774, when Joseph Priestley decomposed a mercuric oxide, means what he found? Mercury after combustion, means after reaction with the air, means you can say phlogiston, forms mercuric oxide. And this mercuric oxide after heating gives a mercury. So some gas went out. So he said dephlogisticated gas went out. But exactly what is that dephlogisticated gas? What is phlogiston? People were thinking. Now you also maybe with the question what this phlogiston theory or concept is. I said previously wood burns, you get a decrease in the weight, so something went out of the phlogiston. But by the same time, as I said, the case happened for the mercury. Mercury form after the reaction with the air, mercuric oxide. So weight increase. Similarly, iron also can form the iron oxide. So weight increase. But they were not knowing oxide or something, but they were knowing weight increases or weight adds. So phlogiston they labeled as positive phlogiston and negative phlogiston. Because of positive phlogiston, there is a decrease in the weight. Because of negative phlogiston, there is an increase in the weight. But still people were not ready to leave that's a phlogiston concept. It was just development of the science. It was just a development of the chemistry. At last, the days of Antony Lavoisier came, a brilliant scientist who has given a proper direction to the chemist. Because after Boyle, experimentation was started to the great extent. But after Boyle's era, the era of Lavoisier started. And chemistry has taken a great change, had taken a great turn. But meanwhile, because of the suggestions of the Boyle and few ideas of the Lavoisier, total elements people were knowing increased. In 1774, this Antony Lavoisier has given a world famous law of conservation of mass. What was his statement? He was saying during the chemical reactions, nothing is lost, nothing is gained, everything is transformed. And first time this Lavoisier said to the world, means by 1789 through his book Elementary Treatise in Chemistry, he said there is a wide range of the matter or material that we know. That matter or material is made up of fundamental part, and he said that part as an element. So he coined the term element first time. That element further we cannot reduce. I am not talking about atom. I am talking about the chemical nature of the matter. Means mercuric oxide you can decompose and get the mercury. But that mercury further you cannot decompose. That mercury is element. Iron can combine and can form its oxide, but iron further you cannot decompose. So that fundamental part of the matter he said as what? Element, about which people were not knowing. See, means to understand the term element up to where people were studying up to 1789, means by the end of the 18th century. And in his famous book Elementary Treatise on Chemistry, he said up to the days of Boyle we were knowing 13 elements. Which are those 13 elements? That in old days we can say people were knowing copper, lead, gold, silver, iron, carbon, tin, sulfur, mercury, zinc, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. But after the days of Boyle and due to the law of conservation of mass, a sudden growth in the discoveries of various elements have taken place, and people have discovered further 15 elements in those only merely 100 years. And which are the newly discovered 15 elements? Phosphorus, cobalt, platinum, nickel, magnesium, hydrogen, oxygen, interesting element, oxygen, nitrogen, barium, chlorine, manganese, molybdenum, tungsten, tellurium and strontium. Further additional element he said, those are not valid, therefore I am not mentioning. He was saying light, heat, radicals, these also elements he was thinking. But out of that selective part only I told to you. He has given the direction of nomenclature. Because of that, some systematicity came in the study of chemistry. And due to the work of Lavoisier, now sudden changes in the understanding or cognizance of chemistry have taken place. Now what happened after Lavoisier? Following the directions of law of conservation of mass coined by the Antoine Lavoisier, by the end of the 18th century, means 1794, Joseph Frost said that elements do combine in definite proportions. Means sulfur can combine with oxygen to form one kind of the gas with one proportion. With other kind of proportion, it forms other kind of gas. Means what he wanted to say, SO2 and SO3. In SO2, amount of oxygen is 2 oxygen atoms are here, and in SO3 3 oxygen atoms are there. That we say now, but at that time people were not knowing this is a sulfur, and sulfur they were knowing, oxygen they were knowing, but how many oxygens are there for one sulfur atom they were not knowing. Now wisely Joseph Frost said the combinations is definite. It is not only for sulfur, it is for iron, means ferrous oxide and ferric oxide, mercuric oxide and mercurous oxide, cuprous oxide and cupric oxide, stannous oxide and stannic oxide. Means what I wanted to say, FeO, there one kind of combination, Fe2O3 other kind of combination. So elements do combine in a definite proportion, but exactly what is a proportion that he has not said, but he wisely said in that ferrous oxide every time proportion or combination is same. In ferric oxide the combination is same. Means he wanted to say proper combination, definite proportion combination of the atoms. What was the way for them to conclude? Only balance. They are concluding the reactions. What is the mass at the beginning? What is the mass afterwards? Why the mass increased or decreased? About which interpretation they were sorting out. Yes, and now the scientific community, scientists went on starting the performing various reactions, because they found one fantastic, fabulous law of conservation of mass. They got one idea for the study of the chemicals and chemical reactions. And one of the genius, hard-working, actually school teacher, now I can say him as a scientist, following the ideas of Joseph Frost when work, then he said that matter is made up of indivisible things, and that indivisible thing he said as atom. But the same was said by the Indian philosopher or the Greek philosophers. Then what the difference in the Dalton's theory and those theories? He was concluding on the basis of experimentation. Means if you take a water, from water they could able to find out, means after decomposition of water, hydrogen is there and oxygen is there. So water is made from hydrogen and oxygen. It was the idea. At that time, clear-cut distinction between atom and molecule was not done, because molecule is formed by some proper proportions of the combination. That idea was not known. So still work was going on. By 1803 come to the conclusion, work went on, and in 1808 he published his paper to John Dalton. What he said in his paper? John Dalton said 4 things. Number 1, matter is made up of atoms. Those are indivisible, means uncuttable and indestructible. Second important thing, all atoms of an element are identical. And third important thing, it is based on experimentation. Atoms of different elements have different weights and different chemical properties. And fourth thing he said, atoms of different elements combine in a simple whole number to form compounds. Though he said those things, but atomic weight concept was not clearly known. So what Dalton was saying for the water? Water is made up of oxygen and hydrogen. But how many hydrogens and how many oxygens, about which he has not given clear idea. He said OH is a formula for water. And what he did, he studied the absorption of the gases. So he has brought out one interesting concept of atomic weight. That is the importance of Dalton's concept. And it has given new idea. And with this new idea, how chemistry has grown. Let us study it in next part, post Dalton era.